Welcome to Fit Factory's Tricorn production software. Today, we'll look through our modular, easy-to-use MRP system that streamlines operations for engineering and manufacturing companies. We'll start by looking at the dashboard, and then I'll show you how you can process a job from quotation to invoice. The dashboard gives you all your KPIs and reports produced from the Tricorn software. As you can see, we have a business overview showing things like sales by month, sales by industry, your order book summary. And as we scroll through the tabs, you can have various reports and widgets showing you key information about your business. For example, quote conversion rates, quotes to follow up, quote history by month and values. Additionally, you can view your works orders, including your order book overview, so you can view the status for every job running through the company. If you have the shop floor data collection, you can also view the job stage and record when it progresses to the next stage. Your purchasing team can look at the purchase values that you've spent that month, purchase order status, purchase order follow-up lists, your top suppliers, your OTIF reports, or any overdue POs. For production, this can also have a copy of your order book overview within it. You can view delivery values by week, last scheduled date if you're running the scheduler, and if you are running the scheduler, you can view your work center load. For invoicing, you can look at all the invoices you've raised that month, anything you've delivered but not invoiced. And if I click on that, it brings up a list so you can go straight into the detail. And housekeeping is looking at completed jobs, works orders with missing PO numbers, so just a general chart to show you anything that you need to keep an eye on. Each dashboard is entirely customizable, so you can view the information you need at a glance and delve into the detail when you need to. It's really easy to set up, as you simply choose reports from our library and click Add to My Dashboard. Then it appears in there with data from your Fit Factory system. Now, let's run through Tricorn from quote to invoice. The left-hand menu follows the process of a job. We run through quotations, works orders, requests for quotes, materials and parts, purchasing, goods inwards, deliveries, certificates of conformity and invoicing. This is fed by your customer information, supplier information, work centers, material parts, and any subcontract you send out for. If we go into a customer screen, we have basic CRM. You've got your customer name, location. We can have multiple locations for main, delivery, or invoice, multiple contacts, and other data relating to the planning with delivery windows. If we go into quotes, this shows any quotes you've ever created for this customer. And if I click on the green box with the white arrow, it will take me through to the corresponding document. Additionally, you've got works orders, outstanding deliveries, delivered not invoiced, and part associations, so these are parts we regularly make for this customer. Next, let's go into suppliers. It's a very similar page to customers. We hold the name and address of your suppliers with multiple locations and contacts. You can see any POs or RFQs you've raised for that supplier, any parts or materials they supply, and you can see if they're a subcontractor. Finally, we have part associations, where we can rate the part or material we receive from that supplier to inform future purchases. Now, if we go into a customer, we'll open a quote that I prepared earlier. So this is a typical quotation screen on Tricorn. We hold the part number, the drawing number, the description of what we're making, and the quantity of what we're going to manufacture. We can see how many we've currently got in stock. We can add the customer information. We've got the prepared date and a follow-up date for this quotation, so you can see I prepared this today. And it automatically sends me a follow-up in 1 week. We've got job status, and we've also got a paperclip up here with a 1 against it. If I click on that, you can see we can attach drawings against this job. We can use the tabs along the bottom here to build up the pricing on the right-hand side. So, for the work centers, you can see this is the process we're going to run through to manufacture the compressor drive pulley. By adding this process, it gives me my work center cost. For materials, it's the same thing. When I add a material, it gives me my material costs. This is the same again for parts. For subcon, we've got something going out for some zinc plating, so we've got a cost against this. Finally, for tooling and assemblies. This job has no tooling or assemblies on it. To add the work center to this quote, we click on the plus, which brings up my list of work centers. I can select the one I want and add it to build the process. To add more information, like notes, setting time, run times, and cost per hour, we can double-click on it and add this information. Again, we click on the plus to add materials, and it brings up my material library. This allows me to search and select the exact material I need for this job. We don't have any parts on it, as mentioned. However, adding subcon would be the same process where we click on the plus and find the subcontract we want to add. If we're happy with all of this, we just need to ensure the price is correct. We can change it if we need to, or add a percentage uplift. Then we can email the quote to the customer. To email the quote, we go to Actions, Print Quote, print the current quote, and that will open my documentation ready to send out directly to the customer. We could send this via email. So if I say yes, it then asks me if I want to send the drawings with it. And then you can see that it has created a quotation for me, ready to send out to my customer. You can attach your terms and conditions here as well. Now, if the quote is accepted by the customer and they would like to proceed, the next stage is to go to Actions and create Works Order. To do that, we add the customer order number. We put in a delivery date if they provided one, and you can add in any private notes or public notes. We accept the quotation, and we can move it across to the Works Order now. Okay, now we're in the Works Order screen. You can see it's very similar to the quotation screen. We are now ready to run through the process. It is showing that the operation status is not finished yet. We can acknowledge the order from this screen as well. To do that, we click on Unacknowledged, Print Selected, and that will raise an order acknowledgement which I can send directly through to my customer. When I hit Close, it asks if I would like to email this. If I click Yes, it would send the email directly to the customer. For the purpose of this though, I'll just say No and mark it as acknowledged. You can see here now it's changed the status of this job to Order Acknowledged. Now the first thing we probably want to do at this stage is purchase some material to do the job before we issue the works order for the shop floor. So to do this, we click on Materials, we go into Sourcing and we click on the Source button. We add a new PO for Apollo Metals. Click OK. This is just checking I've got all the correct details to raise the purchase order. Say OK. Click on Actions and Print Purchase General. And there's my purchase order, ready to be emailed directly to my supplier. When I click Close, it says, would I like to email this purchase? If we say yes, it will automatically open my email and raise a purchase order and send the email to the customer. But we will say no here and just mark it as issued. On the Materials tab, if we want to book that material back in, we just go into Sourcing. Click on the arrow to take me through to the purchase order. Go into Deliveries. Click New to book it in. Put in the batch reference number. Add the Certificate of Conformity number and advice note if we've got one. If there's an expiry date, we can add it. And we could also attach a material certificate, which will stay with that material regardless of the job we use on. Say OK to book this material back in and mark it as complete. We can also reserve this material for a specific works order by printing a label and attaching it to the material. This ensures the material isn't taken and used on any other jobs. Moving back to the works order screen now, we are now ready to issue our job to the workshop. We go to Actions and Print Job Card. Now you can see it's added the material information and the location to the purchase order. So we now have the process all the way to final inspection. So this is a simple job card which can be changed to suit your individual needs. We'll mark it as issued, yes. Subcon purchasing is very similar to materials purchasing, so we won't cover it in much depth in this demo. But you simply click on the source button and it will go through the same process as raising a purchase order for material. Now, we can add times to the job as you process it. We can make this really easy with our SFDC module, but you can do it manually too, by simply writing the job times on the job card. Firstly, we go into time recording. Next, we can select the person doing the work on the first operation. We can put in their setting time or runtime. We can put in the quantity finished, calculate the total hours, and mark it as operational finished. So now you can see it shows you that the job is completed and the percentage of time it took to complete it. Once we have gone through the process and finished all of the operations, the next stage is to deliver the job. For this, we go into Delivery Batches and we tick Delivery Required. A warning comes up saying we haven't completed all the operations on this job. Tricorn is a flexible system, so we can allow you to continue. However, we can prevent you from continuing at this point if you needed to, and we would configure it when we set up the system with you. For now, if we click on the plus, it's asking if you would like to deliver this batch number. We'll say yes. Click OK. And now it's ready to deliver. You can see the delivery status is early. If we go to Actions, and we can print Final Delivery Note. And here's our final delivery note with 3 copied. A customer copy, an office copy, and a signature copy. The next thing we can do is print the final certificate of conformity. If we print final certificate of conformity, here's our traceability certificate, which we can send with the job. Then finally, we want to invoice it. We can see here it's already marked this as invoice required, and all I need to do is click on the plus. Say OK. And that will go away and raise my invoice for me, which can also be emailed directly to the customer or printed out and sent. And that's it. To summarize, we've run through how you can get visibility of your business with the dashboard and how easily you can process a job from quote to invoice with Tricorn. If you have any questions or would like further information, please visit fitfactory.com or speak to a member of our team.